Hi, this is Alan here from BGB Studio. Today we're going to be looking at the Blue Yeti microphone and how to attach the pop filter. The microphone, which I purchased from Amazon, has a recommended retail price of $150. However, you can get it for around about $50 to $60 less if you shop around. The pop filter itself is available for around about $30. Now, as you can see on the front of the microphone, there's two buttons. There's a mute button at the top and the volume control at the bottom. The volume control itself is slightly flimsy. And beneath that you can see the THS certification. Underneath, as you can see, there are two inputs. One's for your earphones, which have zero latency, and also the USB cable. The big hole underneath that is for a microphone stand. If you turn the microphone round, you can see at the back there is two controls. The topmost one being the gain control, again quite a flimsy plastic button, and underneath that there is the microphone input with 4 settings. And that's pretty much it for the microphone. Now let's attach a pop filter to it. The one we're using is the one supplied by Blue Microphones. It's available for around about $30. It comes with a universal bracket, which is quite ridiculous because the universal bracket, as you see here, does not work on the Blue Yeti microphone stand. So when you think that a manufacturer would make a universal bracket, that it would at least work on its own microphones. In this case it doesn't, which is crazy. Now if we try to attach it to the stand, we can put it on at the back, which is probably the best place for it. But when we try and tighten the bracket itself, it just loosens. And the problem is the shape of the bracket. As you can see, it's a V shape here, and when you put it on the microphone bracket itself and tighten it, the V actually pulls the whole bracket itself away from the microphone stand, which makes it virtually impossible to get a good firm grip on the microphone stand, and it feels very flimsy. One way around that is to actually saw off the end of the bracket and drill a hole similar to that one at the other side here, and then attach it to the bracket where the stand actually screws into the microphone. Now the other method, which I prefer, is actually to drill into the stand itself and attach it that way. So here's the plan. We'll have a look, pretty much see where we want the bracket to go, and I'm looking, well, that's a little bit too close to the front, so I'll move it back a little bit there. There you go, that's perfect. And then when we've got the ideal mounting point, we will take a Sharpie marker and mark exactly where we want it to go. Right about there. Excellent. Once we've made the mark and we're happy with that, we can then take the microphone away from the stand. I guess you could leave it on while you drill it, but the way I'm working, that's just not acceptable. I wouldn't want to take any chances of damage to the microphone itself. So now I'm going to unscrew the mounting screws off the bracket. The screw has 2 washers connected to it, and then they have the bracket, and then inside of that is a plastic washer with a little rubber grommet that holds it to the screw. So there's actually 4 pieces to each one, and you want to take them off and put them somewhere safely. Don't want to lose any parts. So we've got the microphone off, as easy as that. And once we've done that, put it to one side. It's safe, we don't need that for the time being. Take off the other mounting screw, and we have the bracket. It's off to the workshop we go and do some drilling. This really is a nice piece of equipment. As you can see, this aluminum bracket just feels strong and sturdy and allows the microphone a good steady stand when you're using it. So here we are in the workshop. As you can see, I have the bracket firmly held. I have it in the jaws of my vise, but I've wrapped it in a cloth to make sure that the vise itself does not damage the bracket. It is quite easy to damage it. The first job is to put a little guide niche into the bracket for when you drill it. Just tap it with a hammer. It is a quite soft metal aluminum, so when you come down to drilling, you've got a nice guide. It's not going to slip all over the place, and put scratches on the bracket. Definitely not something you want. So the first hole I drill is a pilot hole. I use my Dremel, and a very small drill goes through dead easy. Like I say, it's a soft metal, aluminum, or aluminium as they say in Britain, and without any effort, voila, you have a hole in the Yeti microphone. Still too small, so let's get 2 drill bits. I'm not just going to drill a big hole, I'm going to do it in 2 steps with a so we drill another hole in it just to enlarge it a little bit. We're trying to avoid doing any damage to this, and we got plenty of time, there's no hurry. So there you go, we drill the second hole in there, which is slightly larger than the first. As you can see, we've got some more aluminum shavings, and once that's done, we take the third drill, which is even bigger than that, and that'll be the correct size for this project. There you go. As you can see, it's a little bit rough. You can tidy that up with a file, a small round file. We'll tidy that beautifully, and then it's back to the recording studio to mount. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is to take the pop filter and attach it through with the screw. And obviously I've tidied up the hole now, so you know, once it goes on, it looks nice and professionally installed. The trick here is when you tighten it is to have it so that the gooseneck, the metal gooseneck, is pointing upwards. Once you've done that, we can attach the first screw. Remember, it's the screw itself, then the 2 metal washers that goes through the bracket. Then you've got a slightly curved plastic washer with a rubber holder. The curvature goes on the inside facing the microphone, and actually it's the same curvature of the roundness of the microphone itself, and that helps it to fit nice and snugly. So once you've got the first one on, we'll do the same for the second. Put the screw itself, then the 2 washers, put it through the bracket, and then hold the plastic curved washer on the inside. It's a little bit fiddly, but not too difficult. Once you've got that, just press it all in, hold it in place. You can use the pressure of the bracket itself just to keep the inner plastic washer in place, as you can see here. And once you've done that, just fasten it, give it a good old screw, and then there you are. The microphone's mounted, the pop filter's mounted, and now all we have to do after that, once it's all tightly screwed, as you can see, it is a little bit fiddly. Maybe a little bit fiddly, but certainly not difficult. But once you've got it all done, once you've got it all nice and tight, as you can see, then we'll move on to the next step, which is just getting it all in shape and looking good. There you are. I'm tightening it, just getting the gooseneck pointing up, so it's taking a lot of the stress and strain and weight, and there you go. That's it. One pop filter connected to your Blue Yeti microphone. Not a difficult project. Takes about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it looks professional. There's no damage. Just throw that bracket away, no longer needed. The Blue microphone's universal bracket that doesn't fit its own microphone, and you're left with a nice professional looking product. So there you go, the Blue Yeti microphone with the blue pop filter attached. So this is Alan saying, hey, let's be careful out there.